Hello guys, and welcome to part 2 of this little guide series where I want to talk to you about how to prepare for Shadowlands, how to use your time most efficiently in the first few days or weeks of Shadowlands, and what you should do and what I would recommend you to do to use your time most efficiently. So, starting with the 24th of November up until the 8th of December, you want to do a few different things. The most important stuff you want to do there is, of course, leveling your main character and all your alts up to level 60. I'm assuming that you're not only playing one character, but most likely more than one character. This guide will also help those who will only level one character. So after leveling up and how you do that, we'll talk about that in a different video. You want to do all the world quests. World quests, of course, grant you reputation again. Reputation is important for a few different rewards, obviously. Most of them are cosmetic, but there are some gear rewards as well. They're also important for your covenant progression. How that comes together, I'll explain to you in another video as well. But those world quests are a lot less than they are in BFA or than they were in not Shadowlands and Legion, but they take a lot longer to complete. So you have a few world quests that take a lot longer than the world quests you had in BFA and Legion, but at least you don't have to do as many. So aside of world quests, you also want to do all your Mythic Zero dungeons in the first few weeks. Mythic Zero dungeons are on a weekly logout, so you can only do them once per logout, but the rewards you get from them are extremely good for the first few weeks, so you definitely want to get them on all your important characters done every week. So how many are there? There are 8 dungeons, so you have in total 8 chances of loot. The problem with that is that loot is, of course, armor type specific and role specific. So there are healing trinkets that only healers can loot. There are like tanking shields that only, like for example, Prot Warriors and Prot Pallies can loot. And there are other loot slots where multiple classes can loot them. You may want, and if that's possible, I'd highly recommend that, you may want to form a group that consists of mostly the same armor type, and also you want to have a consistent group setup so that you can just rush through all of the 8 dungeons without having to look for just pack groups that you find in the LFG tool, because that on one hand takes a lot longer, and on the other hand just isn't as efficient in terms of learning the dungeons, communicating with each other, and just building up your knowledge about the game and the dungeons in particular. So if you can form a set group that does all the dungeons with you, I'd highly recommend that. Another thing you want to build up in those first few weeks is your renown. Renown is something like a progression system for your covenant, and you can get it from multiple sources. One of them, for example, is world quests, but there are other sources as well. You want to do these every week because they are capped, and you don't want to fall behind in your covenant progression, so that's something you definitely want to do. Another thing you can do in the first few weeks is farming your Torghast runs. In the first week, you'll have to do a whole lot of Torghast to get to your Soul Ash cap for the week. Soul Ash is, of course, the resource you need to craft your legendary items. So what do you have to do in Torghast? Each week there will be 2 floors available in Torghast, and you have to do 8 different levels of each separate area that is open in that week to get your Soul Ash. That's technically not correct. You only have to do the last floor, the last level, to actually get the Soul Ash. But in the first week you have to unlock those levels. So what you'll have to do is to do 8 levels in both areas, so that you can unlock the Soul Ash for that week, and after that you can just jump to level 8 in those areas and you don't have to do them all over again. So the first grind will be hard, but then it will get a lot easier. My tip for Torghast personally is to do all your Mythic Zero dungeons, all the work quests and stuff like that before you go into Torghast, just so that you are geared as best as possible to do those runs, because it will get a lot easier when you get more gear. You can do those Torghast runs solo, that shouldn't be a problem, but you can also do them in a group, and me personally, I really enjoy the group experience, and also I think it's a little bit easier to do it as a group, so I would definitely recommend you to do so. Okay, now keep those things in mind until you go to the 8th. One thing I forgot to mention, that I will mention now, is the Maw. The Maw offers you daily quests, and with those daily quests you collect a resource called Stygia. So you might think what to do with a Stygia, and I'll tell you that in a second. With Stygia, you can buy sockets for specific slots of your gear. It's not like Visions, where you were able to buy socket slots for every single piece of gear. It's limited to, I think, 5 slots on your gear, like braces, chest, and 3 others. But you definitely want to have them as soon as you get great items on that slot. So to prepare for that, you should do all the Maw dailies on every day. Shouldn't take you more than like 30 or maybe 40 minutes. You can't spend any more time in the Maw anyways, because the Eye of a Jailer, the more specific mechanic, gets more restrictive in your usage of a Maw with every level that it gains. And it gains levels by just you being around the Maw and doing stuff there. And at the last level you possibly can't stay any longer in the Maw because you can't heal yourself and you have a ticking damage dot on you. So you want to farm those as efficiently as possible. If you miss out on a day or two, it's not the end of the world, because once again it's only for your sockets and you won't have the best gear in that slot anyways for some time. So if you don't instantly have a socket, it's not the end of the world, as I said. But if you want to be the best of the best, that's what I definitely would recommend you to do. So we'll enter the next phase on the Wednesday, the 9th of December, just because normal and heroic Castle Nafria are open. You want to farm those, obviously, just to get the most gear possible. There's no system like bonus rolls, so you can't get any specific loot with those rolls. That's quite unlucky. I like the system, but it is how it is. So you want to clear normal Torghast, you want to clear heroic, I said Torghast, you want to clear normal Castle Nafria, and you want to clear heroic Castle Nafria if possible. You also want to do Mythic Plus and Arena those weeks. Just because, once again, you can get rewards from those, you can learn the game by playing those, and it's definitely a good idea to do these. You also want to maintain your Torghast runs, you want to maintain your world quests, your renown farm, stuff like that. So in addition to that, what you did for the last 15 days, you also want to clear the raid, do Mythic Plus, and if it floats your boat, you can also do Arena. At least that's what I'm going to do. And after that week, so starting on Wednesday the 16th, Mythic Castle Nafria opens. You'll start your progression there. The item level of loot in Mythic Plus will increase, and also the rated PvP releases. So if you plan on being a big PvP player, you want to play Arena before that as much as possible, just so you learn about the classes, you learn about the balance, you learn about what comps are good, what comps are not that good. And then you want to start your rated Arena journey on that day, as well as climbing Raid.io in Mythic Plus for those reasons. So whatever your perspective on the game is, what your focus on the game is, you wanna really start to going ham on those starting from the 16th. I hope that helped you out. Once again, all this information is based on a written guide by Medivh, and I'll link that to you in the description as well. I just thought that just to be informed, this video format was a nice idea as well, because if you're like me, I consume information much better when it's presented in a video or visually than it is just in a written guide. Just let me know your feedback, let me know what you want to see in the future. There will be other videos to this guide series where I'll explain to you the different expansion systems in detail. And I'll also maybe just give some general tips around, or if you have any questions, I'll answer those gladly as well. So thank you guys for watching. If you haven't, watch part 1 of the series and leave me a subscription on YouTube here. It's super easy and it helps me out a lot, especially since we're very close to that 1,000 subscriber mark. And also, if you want to see me level live on Twitch in the night from Monday to Tuesday, turn in there. It's twitch.tv/Zygvar. I'm also online there mostly every day to present you with, of course, World of Warcraft, but also some other games like Phasmophobia, Among Us, or just some tabletop games like Harry Potter, Battle for Hogwarts, and stuff like that. Just whatever is fun at that moment, and I want to have you take part in that fun as well. So, for the third time, thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you soon.